Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. One more chance for 14 Swamp Black to shine in Pauper. And this is the hand that wins games. So we're up against Affinity. But this is what we want. If we're going to have a chance to win games, this is almost exactly what we want. So land, Dark Ritual, 1-drop, 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 pass the turn. Opponent has a Chromatic Star. Ooh, and just passes? Alright, we pay 1 for Carnophage. Play a Swamp. Attack with everything. Hit our opponent for 6, down to 14. And then back that up with a Shepherd of Rot. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Chromatic Star. Finds a Great Furnace. And Galvanic Blasts our Shepherd of Rot. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't matter. Keep Carnophage untapped. There's Foul Tongue Shriek. Well, let's attack with everything. Does our opponent have even more removal? Another Galvanic Blast, alright. So hit our opponent for 4. And follow up with a Barrel Ghoul. Pass the turn. And, alright, well, that's what we want to do. That's the nut draw. Dark Ritual, 3 1-drops, and our opponent stumbled a bit on mana, so that's how our deck can punish the opponent. I think we go up the Disciple of the Vaults. They gotta be here for this matchup. And maybe go down Bonded Constructs. Ugh. Or maybe we keep those. They actually can attack through like Frogmite when other things can't. Maybe we go down Pulse Tracker. Might be the worst 1-drop. And try it like that. Alright, no Dark Ritual. But we're on the draw and we get a lot of 1-drops. I think this is fine. So we get to hopefully draw a second land at some point, but Chromatic Star for our opponent. Carnophage. Well, let's lead on Night Market Lookout. Pass the turn. Still hoping for a second Swamp. Seed of the Synod for our opponent, and a Chromatic Star, and a Frogmite. Let's play Disciple of the Vault, and pass the turn. Gonna punish our opponent for sacking Chromatic Stars, if they do. Alright, Chromatic Star, sacked, opponent loses 1, adds a red mana. And kills our Disciple of the Vault, alright. Well, opponent's down to 19. Carapace Forger for our opponent, as a 4/4. Gets in for 2 with Frogmite. Land? Carnophage. Well, let's play Bonded Construct, pass the turn. Yeah, this deck, it either wants Dark Ritual or exactly 2 lands. And Dark Ritual only on turn 1. Frogmite for our opponent. Cracks the Chromatic Star. Adds green. Spring Leaf Drum. Thoughtcast number 2. Seed of the Synod. Frogmite. Tags with both. Well, we're going to trade off with a Frogmite. Our opponents just can play a ton of stuff, and we're stuck playing 1 a turn. Feed the Clan gains our opponent up to 29 life. And there's an Atog. Going to be problematic. And a Galvanic Blast, and that's, I think, the game. We'll see if we draw a land, but it's essentially the game. Barrel Ghoul, yep, alright. Well, our opponent had the good draw of that game. This is going to be a 3-minute match. Yeah, run it back. I mean, what can we do? It is what it is. So, hope we get a good draw. No Dark Ritual. Alright, we'll try it. 1 land. I mean, we can't really mulligan because we have 1 land. That's just not something we can do in a 14-land deck. If you play 14 lands, you got to expect 1 land hands a reasonable amount of the time. So land for our opponent. We draw a Swamp, which is good. So barring a Dark Ritual, this is about as good as it gets for our deck. Bonded Construct, Thornbow Archers, pass the turn. So we have 3 1-drops on the battlefield on turn 2. On the play even. So that's exactly where we're hoping to be. Carapace Forger for our opponent. We get a Disciple of the Vault. Well, I think our plan here is to attack with our Lacerator and Construct. Opponent takes it. Then we Shepherd of Rot and pass the turn. This is going to become a 4/4 at some point. I would expect this turn. But we do have our Snuff out to kill it. Darksteel Citadel. Pumps up Forger. Plays a Chromatic Star. Sacks it at red mana. And there's an Electrickery. Kills 2 of our creatures. Okay. Can't do anything about it. Electrickery is very good against us. Opponent passes. Well, we pay for Lacerator. Let's snuff out the Forger. Attack with both. Put our opponent down to 10. Carnophage. Disciple of the Vault. Pass the turn. So, theoretically, we have lethal next turn. Whether or not that plays out to a win in practice is unclear. Mirror Enforcer. Alright, Lacerator doesn't do damage. Keep Carnophage alive. Bonded Construct. Well, let's attack with everything. That's all we can do. Put our opponent to 9. Blocks there. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I think we do it. Foul Tongue Shriek. Put our opponent to 5. Put our opponent to 1. Bonded Construct. Pass the turn. So now our opponent has to kill our Disciple of the Vault. Ichor Wellspring. And they can't have an artifact go to the graveyard before they do. And we got there!